Okay, this is part 2 of making our St. Basil's Cathedral collage, and we have our background done. I'm going to be using the oil pastel one I made, but what I do want to point out is this is a 9 by 12 piece of paper, so the artwork can't be huge, okay? It has to be done small enough so we can fit all of what we need to do onto the paper. So just keep that in mind when you're constructing what you need to construct for today. I'm gonna put that to the side for now because I actually don't need this again till the very end of the project. Okay, so I have some scrap of a paper bag that I've cut so I can use it multiple times. There's lots of paper in here. And I'm actually gonna show you how to make just 2 towers because there's one that's different from all the other ones as far as its shape. And the other ones are pretty much all the same, they're just different heights, okay? For the project, you have to do 5 out of the 9 towers. So you have to make 5 of these using collage. So we're just making the base for the collage to start. Not even going to use a ruler, okay? It's not necessary. So out of the edge of my paper, okay, where the end is, okay, right here, I'm going to use a black magic marker so you can see it. Obviously, you're going to use a pencil. And I'm just going to cut just a rectangle out to start. Okay, and it would help if I had my scissors close by. So most of the bases of all these towers is a rectangle. How thick or how thin is up to you. But what I would do is have the picture that I posted on the stream kind of available and close by so you can take a look at St. Basil's Cathedral while you're making these. Okay, so there's the base of one tower. Now I'm going to cut a triangle out. On top of what I just cut out. Okay, I drew a triangle on top of what I just cut out. And it's got the top cut off of it, so it goes straight across. Okay, and then this is going to attach to that. Okay, and that's the big center tower. Now, they're not exactly rectangles in the picture. They have a lot of other architectural elements, but you can add them with other pieces of paper when you're doing the collage part of this. Just want to get the towers made for now. Okay, so the big central tower looks different from all of the other ones. That's where the middle of the cathedral is. And then all the towers are the separate churches of the cathedral. Remember, it's not really a church, it's not really a cathedral. It was built as a military memorial for a battle by Ivan the Terrible. He wanted it to be incredibly unique. Okay, so now we're going to make a second tower. And I'm just going to, again, cut from the edge. Just a rectangle. Cutting a rectangle out. And now I'm going to make the onion dome. You can use a compass to make a circle that is the same size as this tower, okay? Or you can just use something around the house, like the bottom of this cup. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a little bit small, but this side would be too big. So I'm actually going to trim a little bit off of here, and that way I can use this for the onion tower. So out of my paper, I'm going to go to the top here, just so I save paper, and I'm going to draw a circle, and hopefully you can see it with the black marker. Okay, I got a circle there. And to make the onion dome, I'm just going to put a little thing on top. Boop. Okay, so when I cut this out, first I'm gonna cut it out in a chunk to make it easier to cut. Okay, I'm not gonna try to cut it out of that big piece of paper because it's awkward. And I'm going to cut the circle out with the little thingy on top, because thingy is a word. Definitely in my art room. Okay, so there I have kind of a teardrop or an onion shape. I'm actually gonna take my piece and look at it, and I can glue it together. I can tape it or glue it together like this. Or I can cut the bottom off and make it, you know, end to end, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna actually glue this right down for later. Not going to use a lot of glue. You don't really use a lot of glue in high school art classes because it's not necessary. And all it does is make things slide around. Okay, so I have the onion dome on top of the tower. Put something on top of that so it doesn't move around. And I'm going to glue my triangle that I cut out earlier to the top of the middle tower. Okay, and I have to make a little onion dome for this, and I'm just gonna draw that freehand on the paper. I drew a little freehand onion shape. Cut that out. Okay, and glue that to the top of the dome here. Okay, you know, the paper is kind of bending because it's got folds in it from being a paper bag, so after a while it'll be all flat again. Okay, so there is my finished middle tower. You have to have this one. This is a requirement, the middle, big middle tower. Okay, put that to the side for now. Let it dry a little bit. Clean up my area. I just want to check and see and make sure that this isn't going to be too huge. No, that's pretty good because this is the biggest one in the middle. Okay, so that's fine. But I would make these other towers, so you're going to have 5, so that's 1, 2, so the other 3 towers I would make smaller than this. Okay, so you can mix and match them. And we're making them all separately because when we put them onto the background, we want to be able to play around with what it's going to look like. So we're going to treat each one of these as a separate artwork for collage. And in using the collage, we want to use a variety of things. And for this first one, I've chosen some glitter paper, a scrap that I have. You can see it has stuff cut into it. I have some wrapping paper with some polka dots. I have a hole punch in case I want to make some small polka dots. I obviously have my scissors, my glue. I have some yarn, which I know some of you have at home from doing another project. And of course, I have glitter. Now this may not be something you have. It's anything you have is doable. Aluminum foil, you know, birthday wrapping paper. It doesn't have to be anything specific. You can also use the back of wrapping paper to do an artwork on too, because it's usually white. Okay, so in making a collage, we're gonna start with this guy first. He's all folded. I'm gonna fold him back the other way so he lays flat. Okay, in making a collage, it's pretty much anything that you want to do. However, do look at the picture of St. Basil's Cathedral and kind of gauge where you need to put things, because parts of the towers are different from others, okay? The most outstanding feature of the St. Basil's Cathedral is the onion dome. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some architectural elements, and I actually have some tiny scraps of fabric here, and I'm just going to cut a couple of triangles that I saw in the picture. Nice tall triangles that you saw in the picture of St. Basil's out of this beautiful fabric. Okay. And I'm gonna start to glue those on. Fabric is mostly porous, so you don't need to use a lot of glue because it soaks in. Okay, need a couple more going across. Well, maybe just one more. Because this is kind of a small artwork, I know people didn't have like large pieces of paper at home, and it's still available for you if you need it. Okay, and let me do a half one. Okay, so there's some of my architectural pieces going across. And maybe some yarn to make some stripes. We all know how much of a pain in the neck the yarn can be to use. It gets sticky and you get fuzz all over your fingers. And then I noticed on St. Basil's Cathedral, they have like half circles. So I'm actually just gonna use one right from the bottom here that's already cut. Actually, not that one. Let's use this bigger one. There's two of them here. Ooh, I messed up cutting on that one. And I'm going to put these on top. Oh yeah. Here. I can also go back into, so far I got this. Now wrapping paper tends to curl a lot because it's real super thin. So I still have a lot more to do to fill this all up. Now I have to take another look at the picture to see how to do the tower. But really, guys, it's pretty much anything goes. So on the onion domes, the bigger ones, like on this one, you can go absolutely crazy with something. I am going to do just stripes on this one. Now they're rounded, and it's gonna be hard to cut something on a curve, especially for a demonstration to sit here and figure out. So I'm just gonna do like straight stripes, and everybody will have to fill it in with their own brain on what it's supposed to look like. So, taking these really thin pieces that I cut, and I'm making them go off the paper because I can always trim them off afterwards. Yeah. Don't want to lay flat. And then I think I'm going to take a piece of, this is a piece of prepared paper. Okay, just kind of messing around with tempera and watercolor. I'm gonna make something to go across the bottom of my onion dome, just to neaten it up. Oh, it's got a little glitter in it. I like that. Put that on there. Okay, that's a start on this one. And you can always add anything that you need or cut off anything that's hanging off. Okay, I gotta get glitter into the demonstration, so. This is white glitter, a little bit of silver thrown into it, but, woo! So there's glitter. It's almost like snow, which I'm sure St. Basil's gets a lot of for decoration. Okay, the glue wasn't dry from the other thing I did. I'm going quickly so I don't have this video be a half hour long. Okay, so follow along in class, get more ideas, look up collages online. The idea is to fill those towers with as much of collage as you can and make them really spectacular. You can also go back in after everything is dry and you can color, okay, with paint, crayon, pastel, marker. Okay, you can draw on architectural elements if you want, but there has to be collage. Okay, there has to be some kind of collage going on. And I am not done with these, okay? I am not done with these. This was for the purposes of demonstration only. Okay, so again, follow along in class, but here is the video that you need if you are a little bit behind us and need to catch up.